He was the voice of South Africa's oppressed, a global reggae icon, and a man who turned music into a powerful tool for change and justice. But on one cold evening in Johannesburg, that powerful voice was silenced forever in a shocking act of violence. Hello everyone, today we'll be discussing about the tragic circumstances surrounding the death of South Africa's reggae legend, Lucky Dube. Was it really a random crime, or is there more to the story? Stay with us as we uncover it. Lucky Dube was born on August 3rd, 1964, in a small town called Emelo in Mpumalanga, which was then the Eastern Transvaal in South Africa. Lucky was no stranger to struggle. As a young boy, he worked as a gardener and did other jobs to support his family. But he was determined to find a better life, and indeed found it through education and music. In the late 1970s, Lucky Dube joined his cousin Richard Siluma in the band Love Brothers. He focused on Mbakanga music, but Lucky Dube's exposure to artists like Bob Marley and Peter Tosh deeply influenced him. By the early 1980s, Lucky Dube made a bold shift from Mbakanga to reggae, a genre he felt to better express his political and spiritual messages. At first, the record label was skeptical because reggae was not mainstream in South Africa, but Lucky Dube insisted. In 1984, Lucky Dube released his first reggae album titled Bastards Never Die, but it was banned by the government as being too politically provocative. But Lucky Dube did not stop there. He followed the album up with other albums like Think About the Children, released in 1985, Slave, released in 1987, Together as One, released in 1988, Prisoner, released in 1989, among several others. These albums tackle topics like oppression, social injustice, racism, family, and unity. His music resonated with the youth and the oppressed, not just in South Africa, but across Africa, Europe, the Caribbean, and the United States. Lucky Dube's music wasn't just entertainment, it was education, activism, and empowerment. His songs gave hope and strength in a time when South Africa was burning with inequality. He sang in English, Zulu, and Afrikaans, connecting different racial and ethnic groups in a deeply divided country. He was a father of 7 children who kept his private life low-key and was well known for his humility and strong moral principle. On the night of October 18, 2007, Lucky Dube was in a Johannesburg suburb of Rosettenville, located in the southern part of the city. This is a residential area known to have a mix of middle and working class residents, also plagued by gang activities and a rise in violent car hijackings at the time. That night, Lucky Dube had taken 2 of his children, a teenage son and daughter, to visit his elder brother, Patrick Dube, who lived in the area. It was a routine family visit, something that Lucky Dube reportedly did most times, either after school or before he went for performances or any international travel. His brother's house was just a few blocks away from where the incident happened, just less than 300 meters. After dropping his children off safely, Lucky Dube got back into his car, a Chrysler 300C, which was a luxury vehicle that attracted a lot of attention. At approximately 8:20 p.m., just some minutes after leaving his brother's house, Lucky Dube began pulling up from the curb. Two of the hijackers approached the vehicle. They were armed and on foot. They had reportedly followed him after spotting the Chrysler earlier. According to reports, they had been hunting for a vehicle to hijack. Their plan was simply to steal the car. They did not recognize the man behind the wheel. According to official reports, the hijackers mistook Lucky Dube for a Nigerian. One of the hijackers, Tifiso Mlanga, who actually fired the shot that killed Lucky Dube, claimed in his confession that he did not recognize Lucky Dube before pulling the trigger because he thought he was a Nigerian. As Lucky Dube tried to drive away, he opened fire. He was shot twice, once in the stomach and once in the back. His vehicle rolled forward and crashed into a tree. The killers immediately rushed back to their getaway vehicle and fled the scene without taking Lucky Dube's car. They had no idea that they had just shot one of South Africa's most famous musicians. The bystander rushed to the vehicle, but Lucky Dube was already dying. Paramedics were immediately called, but despite their efforts to stabilize him, Lucky Dube was pronounced dead at the scene. The killing of Lucky Dube sent shockwaves across South Africa and around the world. His death was not just the loss of a celebrity, it was a national tragedy. The police immediately launched a manhunt for the killers. Using forensic evidence, witness accounts, and surveillance footage, they were able to track the killers within days. The killers were part of a criminal syndicate involved in violent car hijackings, and they were already on the police radar for a very long time. The killers confessed to their hijacking attempts, but they insisted that they did not know who their victim was until they saw his face on the news later that night. After the arrests were made, the three suspects, 34-year-old Tifiso Mlanga, 32-year-old Julius Zowa, and 31-year-old Mbuti Mabe, were kept in custody and brought to court for preliminary hearings. The trial began in a Johannesburg High Court, presided by Judge Moshidi. The three men were brought on many charges. During trial, the prosecution informed the courts that on the 13th day of October 2007, exactly 5 days before the killing of Lucky Dube, one of the suspects, Mbuti Mabe, was involved in the robbery of a Volkswagen Polo car. This vehicle was reportedly what they used as the getaway car in the hijacking attempt that led to the death of Lucky Dube. Also, on the 20th day of October 2007, exactly 2 days after they had killed Lucky Dube, the three men were involved in the robbery and hijacking of a Mercedes-Benz car in Jew Street, Johannesburg, believed to belong to a man named Simphiwe Mlamba. The trial continued until March 2009. The date for the court judgment was set for the 31st day of March 2009. On the morning of that day, Tifiso Mlanga and Mbuti Mabe attempted to escape from custody. They attacked the policeman that was escorting them from their cell using bricks, injured him in the process. But unfortunately for them, they too were severely injured in the altercation and had to be rushed to the hospital for treatment. The escape attempt was therefore completely foiled. The court was unable to deliver its judgment that day because of the incident. Hence, it was adjourned to the 2nd day of April 2009. On the 2nd day of April 2009, Judge Moshidi delivered the court's judgment. The three men were found guilty of all the charges brought against them, hence they were convicted. Thereafter, Judge Moshidi sentenced them as follows. 1. Life imprisonment for the murder of Lucky Dube. 2. 15 years imprisonment each for the attempted hijacking of Lucky Dube's car. 3. 18 years imprisonment each for the robbery and hijacking of Cyprian Lambert's car 2 days after killing Lucky Dube. 4. Mbutimabe received an additional 18 years imprisonment for hijacking a car about 5 days before Lucky Dube was killed. 5. Sevisom Lamba and Julius Zowa were each given additional 5 years imprisonment on unlawful possession of firearms, with Sevisom Langa receiving an additional 2 years for ammunition possession. Lucky Dube's funeral was held on the 28th day of October 2007, exactly 10 days after his death. The ceremony took place at his home province, Newcastle, KwaZulu-Natal. The burial was a national event. Thousands of fans, government officials, and fellow musicians attended. Despite the official story, several theories and suspicions circulated over the years, both online and among his fans. The official narrative that the government and police maintained was that Lucky Dube was mistaken for a Nigerian. However, critics questioned this, arguing that Lucky Dube's car had government-issued license plates identifying him as a celebrity or public figure. Some fans believe that it was a targeted assassination, that he may have been intentionally silenced, especially since other politically active artists in Africa have either been threatened or attacked. The killers of Lucky Dube stole from Africa one of its brightest lights. Though they now spend the rest of their lives behind prison walls, the void that Lucky Dube left has not been filled till this day. Lucky Dube was 43 years old at the time of his death, and he left behind a family of 1 wife and 7 children, the youngest of whom was barely 4 months old when Lucky Dube was killed. May his soul continue to rest in perfect peace. If you found this video insightful, please do well to like, share, and leave a comment for us. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time.